Welcome back, guys. Since Friday the 13th is around the corner, I thought I'd start by reviewing the Friday the 13th series in reverse order. So, what does that mean? It means we're reviewing Friday the 13th from 2009. You know, Friday the 13th from 2009, I have mixed feelings about it. There's things I really like about it, and then there's things that just really bug me. We're going to go into the stuff that I like about it first, and then we're going to get into the stuff I don't like about it after. That's not usually how I do it on here, but that's just how things are going to go in this video. Let's see. Things I like about the movie are... There's a couple kills here and there that I thought were really good. The rest were kind of just generic, but there were, I think, 2 or 3 kills in it that really stood out. One being the tent, or not the tent, but the sleeping bag over the fire, and when Jason sticks the blonde douchebags, he takes him and shoves him onto the spikes, and the truck drives off. I like those 2 kills. And there's another one. I think it was the Asian guy. I think I liked his kill. If that's the guy who got the screwdriver shoved in his neck, yeah, it was him. I like that kill. Another thing I like about it is Derek Mears as Jason. I think he's better than Kane Hodder. Just let me explain. I can't stand Kane Hodder as Jason. I'm not a Kane Hodder fan. I respect him. He has a lot of fans. This is really not gonna get me brownie points, but I think Derek Mears is way better. I don't think Derek Mears is better than Richard Brooker or Ted White, but I think he's better than Kane Hodder. I just love what a powerhouse Jason is in this movie. He just holds no apologies. If you were to put Derek Mears as Jason against Tyler Mane's Michael Myers would lose. What else did I like? I liked a lot of the camera work. I didn't like all of it, but I liked a lot of it. There were, I think it was, the shots were better during the day than they were at night. All the daytime scenes, I thought were just done pretty well. But the nighttime scenes we'll get into that in the cons. Another thing I liked the acting. The acting wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't... I mean, Danielle Panabaker was great in it. Amanda Rigetti was great. Who's the guy from Supernatural there? Jared Padalecki, I think is his last name. I thought he did a good job as well. All the cast did a good job as far as the acting, but now we're going to get into the cons, and what kind of ties into that is I don't like any of the characters. They're just very stereotypical high school douchebags. They're just... Jared Padalecki's character is not a douchebag. I just didn't really think he was written very well. He went out looking for his sister, and I feel like they kind of took that from Friday Part 4. Which, I mean, it's a reboot, and I like how they gave nods to different Friday movies. Like they gave Jason, at the beginning of the movie, the potato sack on his head. I thought that was cool as well. I forgot to mention that in my pros, but I thought they did a good job with that. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Jared Padalecki's character he didn't really stand out. Danielle Panabaker's character was kind of just there, I guess, and the rest of the characters were just... They just tried so hard to be funny, and I just didn't think they were really that funny. Especially the Asian guy and his buddy Lawrence, I think is his name. I can't even remember any of the names. I didn't think they were very funny. I know they were trying to be funny, but they just failed to make me laugh. Another thing I don't like is the nighttime shots. It's just... The only problem is they're just so dark that you can't see anything, what... I'm just thinking to myself, what was the purpose of filming the nighttime scenes if you were just going to make them so dark that you can't even see anything? That just doesn't really make any sense to me. You got the part where the Asian guy goes out into the garage. and you can't see anything. You can see him. You can just barely see his silhouette moving around, but you can't see anything in the garage. You can't see if Jason was standing right behind him, you wouldn't even know it. It was so dark. You know, it's just. I mean, eventually it shows because a little light flickers on, or I think he turns the light on or something, and Jason's standing there behind him. But just I would never know. I would never know if Jason was in there. Which I mean, I guess that's kind of the point. But there's just so dark. I couldn't even see the Asian guy. Or we're gonna call him. I think his name was like Chewy or something like that. I don't know who names their kid Chewy, but they should have named him Stabby because he gets. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry. Where was I? Oh yeah. The nighttime shots were just too dark for my taste, really. I mean, it kind of fit the film. I mean, it was a dark movie, but I mean, there's a difference between making the lighting dark and so dark that you can't see anything. I just thought that was kind of ridiculous and unnecessary. What else did I not like? Oh yeah, I didn't like any of the dialogue. The dialogue was just... It didn't feel like, teenagers having a conversation. It felt very studio written, kinda. It just... I don't know how else to explain it. I just don't like the dialogue. I think that it's just... It feels kind of forced. I don't want to I want to take this off. I mess up my hair a little bit. What else? Oh yeah. I don't like how they forced a sex scene into... They forced, 2 or 3 sex scenes into it? That was just ridiculous, if you ask me. I just don't think it was really needed. I mean, I get it. You want to show off the really hot women in your movie, and all of them were hot. Don't get me wrong; they were all hot. I would have loved to be in that movie, being around all them, but it didn't really affect the plot any. It was just it wasn't relevant. The sex scenes weren't relevant. They were just shoved in there because, hey, we got beautiful women in here. Let's go ahead and make them, throw their bones around and stuff like. Just really didn't make any sense, really. Although I guess in a way the first sex scene kind of was relevant to the plot because, I mean, the tent over the fire kill. I mean, I guess without that sex scene that could have happened, but then again, she could have just been in there sleeping, and the next thing you know, Jason comes clawing through the tent and then grabs her and does that, but... I mean, they didn't have to have sex. I mean, I understand it's a slasher, and in most slashers there are sex scenes, but I just didn't feel like it was really needed. I didn't feel like it was really... They could have made it... Okay, for example, I know I'm going on and on about the sex scenes. It almost felt like softcore porn is what it did. Like, in the second sex scene between the blonde chick and the blonde dude, the guy whose name is Trent, who's also Trent in Transformers, which I don't know why he always gets put... every movie he's in, he gets named Trent. Like, I don't understand, but anyway, they were just saying, like, some of the most pornographic words ever. They're like, oh, your tits are so stupendous. Who uses the word stupendous when having sex? That doesn't really make... I've never known anybody to use the word stupendous when having sex. I guess maybe like a British college professor, maybe, if he could even get laid. But all in all, the movie... I wasn't a big fan of the plot either. I didn't like the missing sister thing. I didn't really care for the underground where Jason is underground either. I didn't care much for that, honestly. I understand it was a reboot and they were trying to do something different with it, but I just wasn't digging it. I wasn't digging that he held a hostage. I wasn't digging that he was underground. I didn't really dig that he set up booby traps. I just wasn't into it, really. But the stuff I don't like about the movie, maybe I don't like Friday the 13th, the remake. I'm not sure. I'll have to watch it again, and maybe my mind will change, but for right now, I don't like it. Maybe I'll do another part 2 review, or maybe my mind changes in the future one day. But for right now, I'm not really a fan of Friday the 13th. But yeah, that concludes my discussion of Friday the 13th from 2009. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, hit that like and subscribe button, and we're out.